Recorded. And we may have a few people to join in during the session. But I do have it recorded. I'll let you guys actually see my setup today. Our focus this week will primarily be USD based pairs. We also may take some look at some GBPs. Currently, we have USD JPY displayed. For UJ this week, we do have a harmonic that formed on the 4-hour. We're kind of sitting here pushing some resistance zones, kind of testing these highs. I'm looking for UJ to drop down and give us a nice bearish move. This is based on the harmonic. We're actually in a trend channel. And we're also in a long-term bearish channel as well. So we did have this uptrend here, a little bit of a retracement coming off of this bearish channel, and then we formed a harmonic here. I want to say it's a Gartley that's going to give us should give us a push to the downside. So as we zoom in, we're on our daily. We zoom into our 4-hour. We'll notice that we're starting to get some resistance here at these zones. We're also using some volume profiles this week, which we'll be diving into later. So we're kind of at some low volume areas. So we're looking for a pushback down to our value. So we're actually in a couple of trades with UJ waiting for the pushback down. We're also going to be looking at some JPY pairs as well. We actually have AJ. Just a second. Let's see what we have. Yeah, that first pair was UJ. Moving right along, we're looking at AJ. Zoom this in real quick. Kind of similar setups. They're both paired with JPY. So we had an actual channel down in channel. We did get a retracement with Audi JPY. We got some weakness in Audi, and it started to make his move back down. We actually got a little bit of a retrace here, and looks like we're going to continue to the downside this week. So my overall bias is I'm going to be going bearish, currently bearish on this pair. We're starting to get some wicks forming here at this previous zone. So if you're looking for the continuation to the downside, we'll zoom back in here a little bit more. So we do trying to work our ways from the higher time frames down to the smaller time frames, seeking out our entry. So we had price come and make this high, our most recent, our highest high. We came down, made a low. We came back up and made a lower high, and then we came back down. We didn't get quite to a high, but then we pushed back up and we didn't break this actual level. So our bias is still to the downside. If you guys see, we're getting a small push coming down currently. So we're looking for the beginning of the week for AJ to continue to the downside as well. So that'll be some JPY strength coming into the market at the beginning of the week. Let's see what else we have highlighted here. We're looking at this week. The USD Swiss franc, kind of sounding the same synopsis on this. We're looking at what we have here. We got a little intricate here. We've been getting this nice downside push. Same kind of scenario. They are some of the same. These pairs are paired with some of the same currencies, so they kind of react in the same manner. We got a nice push down, and Then we got a nice solid retracement. We got price plan in this range here. Overall, though, we do have an overlay of a Fibbo that we took from the top to the bottom. They're actually starting to react to some of our points, some of the infamous 50% level. We got a little bit of reaction and push back down. We got a pushback up here to around our 61.8, which is usually a key level to where price reacts, or it's a good resistance zone. We also have a supply area here, or excuse me, a demand zone here. So we should see, or excuse me, I was correct, the supply zone here. So we should see some push for the bears to come back into the market. We did end the last week with this nice wick here. So we look for continued downside the beginning of this week. We can zoom in here, and we are starting to see it's had a big, nice engulfing. We are getting a little bit of a retrace, but I don't expect this to push up too much more. Look for price to come back down, and this should be a nice move, nice bearish move for us. We're looking all the way down to 99 2-ish level, about 100 pip trade. They were looking to catch the beginning of the week before we get something else out of USHF. We were also looking at, let's see, we're looking at GN. Still have us our move. We've been in this following this move for about a week or two, so we're looking for GN to continue down to the downside. We're looking for some GBP weakness. I have a TP set around 71975 ish area, just depending on how the market plays out. We did have a pivot flag here, and we're in what we call a wolf wave. This is a wave that's gonna usually give us potential to the downside. So we are seeing the market is pushing down. We caught this trade up here, some of these higher levels, and we got a nice push, and we're gonna continue to hold that trade. We can zoom in a little bit more and give us a little bit more defined areas of what we're seeing. Price was playing in this actual pennant, this actual range here, and we got a breakout. Came down and retested this area, broke down some more. This area right here is playing a nice resistance zone. If you guys can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more. We're getting some nice wick action, nice rejections every time we get up here to this area. So indications that price, is going to continue to the downside. Opened up today. We could have caught a nice move down, but it is Sunday, so we're not in any rush yet. The market is kind of finding direction at this point. So we got a little bit of a nice bearish movement so far. So that is GN. Let's see what else we're looking at. At JPY, we caught this trade last week. We got a nice little push coming from off of this actual trend line based off of a bat harmonic pattern. Coming up here to a zone to where we could see some resistance. Looking for price to kind of shoot back down based on the JPY strength that should come into the market. So we're looking for maybe a little bit of a retrace before they continue to push up. So we may see about a 60, 70 pip drop to the downside, and then we could get a continuation back to the up. But CAD's been showing a little bit of weakness over the last few days. Let's take a look here. We'll zoom in a little bit more. So yeah, I don't see this push continuing up. See us starting to form a little bit of a wick here. Look for some JPY once again, strength to come into the market, causing this to start coming to the downside a little bit. We'll make it a push down here to about 81, 85-ish. Come back down and test these areas before it makes a decision on the direction. I'm not sure if some of you guys are familiar with some of these. These are a great tool to add into your arsenal. They are the indexes. So these are the currency pairs that are not paired with any other currency. So they're just going to be an index or give you a direction of the strengths in the market or the direction of the base currency. So here we have USD or the DXY. We did open up, and we did open up with a push or with a gap this week. So there could have been some weekend news, something that attributed to this push, this gap here. So we're looking for the gap to close and continue movement to the downside. We're at some pretty highs. Could have a potential M forming to push this back down to test this zone again. Let's see here. I have another mark up here to show you guys the DXY currency. Let's see if this is the actual. Yeah, this is gonna be it here. We've been following DXY for weeks now, so we've been tracking the move, and it's been playing in our direction. We've been able to capitalize. We actually caught DXY all the way up here, based off of this price action pattern called ABC equals D pattern. So we're looking to get some equal movement from this which leg was it? From this C to D leg. Look for price to kind of come back down here to test this area. Eventually come down this way, but we're first target will be somewhere around here. So we're looking for DXY to go ahead and react and give us some USD weakness in the market, allowing the USD, like USD JPY, to fall, USD Swiss franc to fall. We're looking at Euro USD to rise based on some of the DXY. This is just kind of dependent on how investors feel. There are a couple of things coming up with the trade war. So based on that, we're currently playing USDs to the downside. We do have a nice wick here at these areas. Based on the pattern, we rolled this thing down, rolled it up. Looking for it to drop back down. We have a nice engulfing on the 4-hour to finish the week last week. We did get the gap, but no worries. Sometimes it happens like that on the weekend. We're still following our bias to the downside. And we'll take a look here. With that being said, we'll take a look at Euro USD. I think I have a markup on Euro USD already. That's not the right one. Euro USD. This one. Yeah, that's it. Let's see. We'll look for continuation or push to the upside. We got a nice move off of this actual zone, demand zone here. And let me cut off this real quick because the colors are wrong. Okay, so we had a nice push. We came back down and tested these areas. Gave us a start the formation of a harmonic, so we could see a potential harmonic pattern play out. We also have two our double bottom that potentially form. We got a nice push here off of this counter forming, kind of like a kangaroo tail. Then we broke above this zone. We came back down. We're actually testing it now. So based on some of the biases with the USD currency, some things we're seeing in the market, we're looking for this to continue to push to the upside. We are now getting wicks down this area, so we're looking for some more potential bullish or some bulls to come and take this market back up. Starting to see a hammer candle here. Starting to see some candle formations that will give us the probability or possibility of Euro USD to continue to the upside. So we're actually in this trade, holding this trade now. We're looking for potential for it to come back up and test these areas, either this 109.11 area, or we can see it maybe come up and actually touch this bearish trend um, trend channel that we've been in. Well, actually, we broke through some areas. Well, no, yeah, that's right. We were in a channel, so came down, tested. Now we're looking forward to kind of test this upside and play within his range. Could get a possibility of a breakout eventually. So we're bullish right now with EU. It's like there's a smaller time frame. Like I said, we got that hammer foot. You guys are familiar with the candlestick Bible. Just continue kind of dive into that, get a little bit more familiar with your candlesticks. But we do see upside action. Let's check out. We have one more on the list, maybe one more, two more, and I'll get you guys off the call today. But let's look at USD CAD. Maybe I didn't get this one marked up yet. But just off the top, we do see kind of equal lows here. We got a bounce here, bounce down here, primarily a supply zone here, or excuse me, a demand zone. Starting to form kind of a harmonic pattern on this daily time frame. We had a nice little push up, kind of broke some zones here, and we're just kind of trickling along this area. Let's look at the 4 hour. We'll also turn on our volume. Hey, I do remember what I had marked up on that now. Yeah, we are playing in a nice area. We have a value area. We're starting to get some nice wicks here on UCAD. So we're the same thing as UJ. We're looking for UCAD to kind of push down and retest some of these lows, some of these low areas here. So we're looking for a potential push to the downside with UCAD. And I wish I had my markup somewhere. Let me check this other place real quick. Okay, nothing there. Got some weakness coming into USD now. JPY is also kind of weak, so we're waiting for potential push to the upside. But I don't have my UCAD markup. But just from looking at the chart, we are looking for potential downside. We also see we have a nice engulfing. We got another push down at the end of the week. And today we did, because of the gap, have a little move up, but we're starting to have some nice wickish action. Could potentially we're going to be playing bearish on this pair, looking for the price for it to move down. So at least a quick 50 pips. I'm looking long term. We're looking more down to this area. Let's see where we're at on the daily. So yeah, we're looking for the bears to continue to come in. We have some nice wicks up here and continue to push this pair down. I think that's gonna wrap up what we have. I think we had IDJPY was it. Well, I'm pulling up the last markup though. Is there any pairs you guys would like to take a look at? Anything you're considering trading this week? Although we did touch on IDJPY. Any requests for any pairs we can do a quick markup on? Um, Anything you guys want to talk about going into your trading week? Any questions on some of my charts here? go in. And we had a potential W that failed. Came back down. Just testing a couple of levels here. Could see a potential, see how price reacts at this level. And if it does keep on pushing down, we'll see it kind of react. Could get a reaction down here. This isn't on our radar, so we're not trading EN. Just kind of going through pairs right now. But that's going to be the weekly review. Once again, we're eyeing in on some of the USDs, UJ, UCAD. We have EU, USD, Swiss franc. We're playing a lot of the USD pairs, seeing if we can get a good push or some weakness from the USD. Also with GBP pairs, my bias is to the downside. I'm seeing GBP getting some weakness, and we're seeing some continued pushes to the downside. But before we close out this call, let me check the chat. Did anybody have any pairs, any questions, any concerns on what we're our outlook for this week? All right, going once, going twice. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. I'll get the recording sent over to the group so you guys can keep an eye on some of these patterns and potential throughout the week. But I appreciate your time, and you guys have a great evening. Hold on, I got a last second question. One moment here. Last second chat. Okay, no. You as well, Chris. No problem, and I hope you guys enjoyed your. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving as well, and everybody in the chat. Thank you guys, and y'all have a great day.